here's Brody Brazil.
Welcome to yet another installment of Home Studio Production Basics. In this series, it's all about helping you up your production value in a home studio situation. Here in episode 4, we're going to be discussing an always ready studio space. What is that? How do you set it up? And why is it important? And let me just give you the quick background. This is my home studio space. When I say always ready, I walk in the door, I push about 5 or 6 buttons, I know where everything's at. The chair, the desk, the camera, it's always in the same spot. The lights are positioned. Everything's ready to go. It's an always ready space so that when I want to start creating content, there's not a lot of limitations or roadblocks in my way. Now that sounds simple, right? And like I said, it is, but there's so many reasons, there's so many right reasons to have an always ready space. Because if you have to set up and break down your equipment every time you create content, whether it's pre-recorded or live streamed, number one, that's time consuming. The setup, the strike, the breakdown, it's all time that you don't really need to be spending if you don't have to. The other thing is, the more you set up and break down, the more chances you have for an improper setup. Oh, you meant to put that cable into jack 1 instead of jack 2 or vice versa. Yeah, mistakes can happen when you're constantly building up and breaking down. You could also simply lose motivation. Like, okay, tonight I really want to make this video or I really want to do that live stream, but setting it up and breaking it down, that's an additional 30 minutes. I all of a sudden don't know if I'm as motivated anymore. And then last but not least, inconsistencies, right? Like if you're constantly positioning the camera in a different spot or the desk has moved. Literally, like I said, here in the home studio for me, nothing moves. Now, I'm fortunate to have a space like this, but most people can find a space where they can just leave things alone, right? It is a luxury, but a lot of people also have this and don't take advantage of a space like this, but they should. So the always ready aspect is critical. So how do you create an always ready space? Like what goes into this? Number one, you want to control your lighting. When I say always ready, I could come in this room at 5 in the morning, 11 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 9 at night, 2 in the morning. The lighting situation is controlled here. I've blacked out all the windows so that lighting doesn't matter. It's always ready. I don't have to fiddle with the blinds or readjust the camera. Lighting is an issue for most people in their homes. So a home studio also goes to that. Number one, you got to control the lighting. So everything's blacked out here. I turn on my artificial lights and we're set and we're ready to go. Another tip for creating an always ready studio space is to create marks. Now, I'm kidding you not. I should have got a cutaway shot of this, but there's a piece of tape on this desk. And I know that if I put my belly button centered up on that piece of tape, that just little blue tape right there, that I'm centered up in the shot and I can position this mic around where I'm supposed to be. I know in my background, in my chair, everything will be set so long as my belly button or the buttons on my shirt is pointing right at that blue tape. But you could also create marks for other things like in your studio. This tree, this very fake tree, believe it or not, has marks on the stand it's on and marks on the ground so that when I ever need to take it out, move it, whatever, I can put it back exactly in the spot I want it. The camera, it never moves, but just in case, underneath the tripod legs over there, I have pieces of tape. Those tape mark the spots of exactly where this goes, so it's the same every single time. There used to be another tripod like structure behind me here with another monitor. I used to do interviews, but when I wanted that here, I put marks on the ground so that every single time it was in the same spot. So create marks so that you know exactly where to go back to, you know how to recreate your environment and your situation. And then the last thing, like I said, this is most important. This is what makes it an always ready space, is that your equipment just stays put, right? It stays here. I don't like to take things out of this home studio. I don't like to move things around. I like to know exactly where they're at. Everything's predictable and everything's ready to go for the next time I walk in this door. So when I leave this room, it's all set for me the next time. There's no questions about it. So equipment stays. Again, if you can, right? Some people say, well, The camera I use in my home studio is also my vlogging camera, or it's whatever. Okay, I understand. But if you can get a second set of gear for things that you have, if you need to bring things in the field or remotely, fine. If you can ever acquire a duplicate something, a camera, computer, keyboard, whatever, leave as many things in your home studio as possible so that you don't need to keep bringing them in and out. Okay, so those are all how to set this up. Now, once you've got the home studio set and it's always ready, here are my top tricks to really maximize the always ready home studio. Number one is remote control. Now, for example, these LED lights behind me, I have them on a switch. I'm gonna turn them off right now. They just went off. Actually, I should show you like this. There, better. But if I want to turn them back on, push the button, wait a second, they fire up, they do the color test, they're ready to go. But I have everything right here in a remote control situation. So I don't have to get up, move, turn that light off. It's all right here within reach. And that is my second point, actually, is they fire up again. Everything within reach. I don't have to get up and start the camera. I can start and stop my records from here. Now, I can't tell you how to set everything up in your own home studio, depending on how your equipment is configured, but create as many things within reach and from a remote control aspect as you can. I've already talked about leaving the space ready for the next time so that if you have to come in a rush, if you have to come in unexpected, it's literally those 5 or 6 buttons, hit record, and fire away. The other two things involve the software side of it. Have templates, right? So in my situation here, the studio is always ready. I have the basic things I can do. I can, use this camera shot with the computer running Apple Keynote, or I can push that button right there and it'll go to just me full screen. Or if I was doing live streaming, I already have that built so I can put the little live bug up in the corner. Or if I wanted to promote my social media channels, bang, that's already done too. Now, I'm running you through a quick list of things here. I could do 50 others, but to go back to, where is it? To go back to this, have templates. Have things that are already basics for you, ready to go, so that you can adjust simply and quickly to the situations. And yes, saved settings are part of that. You don't want to have to keep reconfiguring how the lights look behind you or what macros are in your switcher. You want to have the bare basics always ready for your disposal. So, always ready. That's such a key thing for the studio space. Among making you look good and making you efficient, I really go back to the number one thing. It's so easy for me to come in here and make these videos. I make these keynotes in one room while I'm on the couch watching TV. Then I come in here in the home studio and I play them out on a different computer. And in this always ready studio space, there's not as many hurdles for me to jump through to create content. So if you like this video, if some of this helps you or it makes sense, let me know in the comments section below. Also, don't forget, subscribe to the channel and thumbs up on this video if it actually helped you.